So now it's time for a new episode of this van build. In the previous one, we sanded the whole van, we painted the whole van, and it turned out so much better than I ever expected it to be. And with the lifted roof, now when it's painted, you can see how it almost looks original, and I'm really happy about the result. Currently, right now, I'm in Norway. I work 14 days in a row, 12 hours a day as a rope access technician. And right now I'm in Norway, in Odda. Really beautiful place. The scenery is amazing around the work site. And right now we're on these roof beams 40 meters above the ground. And we have all of this scenery around us while we are working. And then during the nights, I'm doing editing so I can get this video up for you guys. So with further ado, let's dig into this. So even if this van is from 2002, it still doesn't have central locks. So I'm gonna install a universal central lock system. So that's the locking system right there, and that's the original locking system. So that one just slides up and down. So the only thing I need to do is drill a tiny little hole there, insert this one there, and then this one is going to be on the other side. So the lock system is right in here, and this one is going to be on the inside right there. And you have this universal attachment. So you take two of these, that and that, and then you just put this one in between. Boom, everything in place. That one, and all the way up here. Perfect, easy. I'm dealing with the rear brakes of the van, and if you have a Mercedes Vario, like I have to figure this out the hard way, but I'm gonna show you how this works. So it's a twin system. So this one is run by air, and this one, the original, like the normal brakes, is run by oil fluid, brake fluid. So both of this is gonna go with brake fluid, but only this piston will go with the air system. So when you put the brakes in, this one needs to be moved back with a hexagon key like this. So you need to push it in and then twist it backwards to adjust this arm. So I'm gonna put this back and I show you how to adjust it in the right way for it to fit. First of all, I put the caliper back. I'm gonna show you this. So here you have the screw right there. So you press it in and you press it back, and then the piston will move this way. You put the outer brake pad in first, adjust it all the way there, and then you have to make sure that this arm can go in here without this piston moving outwards. So now I'm just gonna take this one back. Boom, both pads in place, and this one can be put in place with this spring. There we go. So there we have it. Everything is back together, and like this is tightened up. There is no leaks anywhere, and this bolt is moving freely for the handbrake, which is good. And I also checked when you push the handbrake that it actually locks the hub. So everything is back together. Sweet. The last part of the undercarriage is to remove the floor and just spray, like clean and spray everything on the top as well, because I've seen other people doing these van builds on Varios and they all lift the floors and they all have a lot of rust in the beams right here. And it's so frustrating to try to get this to come loose. Like all of these looks like this. This is 1 out of 20 that I actually got all the way up. Normally they come up like this. If they do come up, I've been using like a sledgehammer together with this hammer screwdriver, but I keep on kicking the bits off. I've been trying with that. I've been trying with this, and it just kills the bits. And it's supposed to be like, I don't know, 20 minutes to take all the screws out, and now it's like 20 hours. I don't know. So the last try I did was to weld the spot, like weld a nut on the top to get them out. It still broke though, but I got it up. But it burns the area, like, because this is wood, so it burns the area as well. So I don't really want to do that. I've been trying to drill them out, but the drill is, yeah, it just looks like a mess. The drills just keeps on breaking, so everything just takes so much time with this van. Okay, I'm gonna keep on trying to kill them with this one, and the ones I can't get out, I need to use the welder. For hours and hours I was fighting with the sledgehammer, with the welder, with everything I could get over to get this floor out, and I felt that it was almost impossible at some points, but in the end I managed to get it out. And of course, what did I find underneath? Wow, just look at that. That's a lot of rust everywhere. Such a good decision to take the extra time, take this out now when I haven't built anything inside, and do this properly. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't be able to take it out later on, and this would just keep on continue rusting. So I'm really happy that I took this step, even if it's been taking hours and hours to take it out. Now we're just gonna grind and blister this, put some rust protection on, and we are good to put everything back again. Yay! Just like the rest of the undercarriage, I was doing the same procedure here, jet washing everything, grinding everything down before putting this rust protective paint on, and just look at the before and after pictures. Pure satisfaction. And now we're gonna rewind everything so I can tell you the story about the lift before we put the floors back in. So when I bought the lift, I also got that, a footstep that you can put on the side, and you can put it, slide it in underneath the van. So the mounts doesn't fit, but I'm just gonna take these off and put them back again so it fits my van, and it's just gonna come out just underneath here. I think it's gonna be sweet. And of course this was from a completely different car, so I had to cut everything into pieces, figure out a way of how I wanted to fit in my van, and then weld everything back together again. And why not put my batteries in this place, because there's so much space underneath the Vario that is not used for anything. So voila, we have a rack for my batteries. Well, I'm gonna try to explain what I've done here. So my van has a 24-volt system. So this is a 24-volt system, and this is a 12-volt system by itself. So when you connect a 12-volt battery with a 12-volt battery, negative to positive, you actually get 12 plus 12, 24-volt system. It's a serial connected system. And then you have this one that is just a normal 12-volt system. But they are connected to the same ground. Might sound a little bit dodgy, but that is actually not an issue at all. So if I have this connected to the same ground, I measure on this one right there, I get a 24-volt system right here. And if I measure the other one, still the same ground, I get 13.4, and that's the 12-volt system right there. And they all connected to the same ground, no problem. And you might wonder why a 24-volt system at all? Why don't you just do 12-volt in all of this? Well, if you use a 24-volt system, you can actually take the size of the cable and split that in half when you load something. Because with a 24-volt system, you need half of the cable size to power something up, which is a positive thing. So for my solar panel system, I can use a smaller MPPT to run the solar panels down to this 24-volt system. And there's a catch to this, that this 24-volt system is gonna charge the 12-volt system with a charger. So here we got the charger for that. As you can see, is input voltage of 10 to 36 volts. So my 24-volt system is gonna run in, and then you have output of 14.6, which is the charging power for a 12-volt system. So that is gonna be run through this system all the time. So when this is charged up, it's gonna charge the 12-volt system. So all of this is always gonna be full, even when I only charge this with the solar panel. And to be able to charge my batteries even more, I'm gonna be using this little thing. This is what connects the batteries when the alternator on the van is running and you have a charge on 26.6 volts or more. Then this is gonna be active and it's gonna charge my 24-volt system as well. And when I turn the van off, this is gonna cut and split these two systems from the living batteries to the starter battery in the van. So I can never run low on power in my starting battery, but when I run the van, the start battery and the engine will also charge this. And just like that, it's all installed. So here's the batteries. Then I tighten everything up. I isolate them a little bit extra with putting them inside these pipes because I don't want anything to go wrong here. So that is the plus wire going back to this little unit right here. That's gonna give me power when the car is running. And then all of it runs back here. So this is the area where I wanna have all of my electricity. So all the cables, this is for the lift, this is the 12-volt system, and this is the 24-volt system. And everything is gonna go up in this area right here and just make a nice system eventually. So once I was done with the side step and my batteries, I decided to take the last piece I still had in the van out, and that was the front interior, because I wanted to make that look really good as well now when I'm making everything like brand new. So I washed everything down, put this primer, like a vinyl primer on, and then I painted it with this matte black vinyl paint before heading over to do my back lift balcony. I'm trying to figure out the best way of building this balcony so everything lines up as good as possible. The bike is easy to load and I can also use this as a balcony all the time, even with the bike rack on. The bike that I built this for was a sport bike. That bike right there has a little bit longer of a wheelbase. I need to change those a little bit, and I also gonna change that pipe. And when I take the bike down, it kind of goes in underneath together with the balcony before it actually slides out. So I need to put wheels on the end here. So I found this in the barn. So I'm just gonna cut these off and put these on the end right here. So I took the wheels off, and they basically gonna go just right there. I'm just gonna show you this right there. And then this one is gonna move out just a little bit to right here, so then I don't have to slide with the wheel on that one every time I get the bike on. To give the lift more power, I extended it 2.5 centimeters right here to get that further out, to get more power to the cylinder. So now I checked it on the van. It looks good, it works good, and it goes all the way up and all the way down, which is perfect. So now I'm just gonna do this little missing piece here and just weld everything together, and I'm done. I am so late with this build. I said I'm gonna be away before winter, but okay, anyway. So I finished these ones yesterday and they turned out great. So here is, you have a sprint that goes through here and lock the balcony to the frame. It is not really necessary because it's been like this for the whole night and then hasn't lost any pressure whatsoever. But I want to have extra security, so if the lift fails, it can still hang. And I've tried this, it hangs 100% just on these ones. So I'm gonna get my steering wheel and go for a test drive. And once I've been test driving the lift and felt that everything worked out the way I wanted to do, I sent everything off to paint before I can finally start to put it back on the van for the last time. And just look at that. I have a balcony in the back of a van with glass doors. It was just like a crazy imagination, but here we are, it's reality, and it looks awesome. So with that said, we're gonna end the video right here. I have one day left at work, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go home to Tenerife to see my van again. And I really hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, and please comment. I wanna know your thoughts about this and what I should have done differently. And if you have any questions, please let me know. So in the next episode, we're gonna start to put everything back together. The floors are gonna go in, and interior is finally gonna go in. So I really hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next one.